Hello.
Okay. We'll talk fast.
Yes.
Okay. You know what? We'll just put it in the space that, we have this little potential glitch. One of these days, I'm going to fix my hair so that it doesn't look quite so crazy.
And I turned the brightness all the way down to 1.
Okay. And then maybe close out all the apps and things like that. Are we running live?
We are live.
Awesome. I love it. Oh, wait, I need communication. So I can monitor comments. Okay. Let's roll. I haven't signed in here yet. So.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready? Okay. Let's just get right started.
I agree.
So,
So welcome everyone to our Tuesday Facebook Live evening. I'm super excited that you all are here with us. My name is Dr. Robin Lawrence, and my partner here is
Dr. Sarah Ponica.
I love it. Maybe you should tell them and not that computer. We'll have to work on that. You always turn your head away.
What?
Nothing. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, so we are Get Well Family Chiropractic. Sorry, I'm playing with my hair. I'm having a hair day. Anyway,
So, yeah. So today's class is going to be on the importance of community and relationships and everything like that. And just so everybody knows, my computer that we were being filmed on might die at some point. So if the class goes dark,
if we go dark a little early,
that's what happened.
We apologize. We ran out of power. We clearly didn't manage our equipment properly.
We're gonna jump right
today.
through this.
We totally are. So thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to be diving into the importance of community, just like Dr. Sarah said, on how it is going to improve your health. It's going to improve your relationships, improve your immune system. If you have any questions during our time together, make sure you throw them into comments. I'll be monitoring, and we'll be happy to answer those as we go.
Absolutely.
And then, make sure you're sharing this video to your timeline. Gather some more of your friends in. Shoot us some love, some likes and hearts. Let us know you're there, where you're watching from, and let's get started. In fact, I'm going to share it right now.
Oh yes, I should do that. I'll do that on the next slide. So, too often we're focusing on mental illness when we should be talking about mental health. Mental health also includes your overall emotional and mental well-being, which includes both positive and negative elements. So just as your physical health needs that ongoing care, measures can also be taken to improve your positive mental health as well.
Mm-hmm.
By nurturing our mental health, we can handle stress more effectively, we can recover from setbacks that we might be having more quickly, we can sleep better and heal faster. Yeah. So there are a lot of different ways to boost mental health through self-care and practicing mindfulness, which we've kind of talked about in some of our other classes. Mm-hmm. But today we're going to discuss the power of connecting to our community of friends and family to help actually maintain that positive mental health.
Yeah, it's so critical. The conversation that we're having is really poignant. So many of our patients who live alone are coming in, and this is like the highlight of their day or their week, where they actually get to have physical interaction, physical presence with someone. Mental health influences so many aspects of our daily life, from the way that we think, the way we feel, the way we behave. Your mental state also affects your ability to cope with stress, overcome any challenges, build relationships, and recover from life setbacks and hardships, right? There are plenty of things that we can do to take control of our mental health, starting with building strong relationships. Mm-hmm. Good mental health isn't just the absence of mental health problems, right? Just like when we talk about wellness or health right?
Right.
Is not merely the absence
Yeah.
of symptoms and disease.
Mhm.
It's really about a whole scope of things. Mental health refers to the presence of positive characteristics rather than being free of depression, not having anxiety, or other psychological issues. It's really the presence of those positive aspects.
Right, exactly.
Characteristics like contentment, the ability to laugh and have fun. We do that here all the time. The ability to bounce back from adversity, right? We have all faced adversity the last 3 months, including myself. And I was on the phone with my coach this morning. And it was really nice to have starting to distinguish those setbacks from last week and really to overcome, to bounce back. A sense of meaning and purpose, right? Why are you here? What is your purpose? What is your impact? What are you standing for in this world? Or do you volunteer? Be of service, being of service. Flexibility to learn new things, right? Adapt and change. Roll with the changes. And the presence of self-confidence.
So in today's tech-driven world, it's easy to forget the importance of personal relationships. The Mental Health Foundation defines relationships as the way in which two or more people are connected, or the state of being connected. Investing in building and maintaining good relationships is crucial for achieving this positive mental health that we're talking about. So by doing this, we strengthen our own mental health and help others to grow too. People who are socially connected to their community of family and friends are happier, physically healthier, and suffer fewer mental health problems than people who are less connected.
Yeah. So, there's really evidence taking part in close relationships can give us a purpose, a sense of belonging that will positively impact our mental health. The Mental Health Foundation completed a review of 148 studies. It's a lot, on health and social relationships. In their findings, they concluded that the lack of social relationships could be just as debilitating to health as smoking, physical inactivity, not exercising, and obesity. The organization urges physicians, health professionals, and educators to take social relationships as seriously as other risk factors when it comes to prevention of illness, right? And that's, a lot of the conversation that we have with our patients here. A study by Harvard followed over 700 participants in an attempt to determine what makes us happy. Key results reported that happiness and health aren't a result of wealth, fame, or working hard, but come instead from our relationships.
So the company of others is really essential to our well-being. We are social creatures with emotional needs for relationships and positive connection to others. Without these, that is where our mental, physical, and emotional well-being can really be damaged, which is kind of sad why some people are haven't been able to have these social in-person interactions lately. Yeah. And I'm glad that people are starting to be able to have them again. It is essential. So even if we're shy or untrusting of others, our brain craves this companionship, and nothing can beat the stress-busting, mood-boosting power of quality face-to-face time with other people.
Right. Loving my face-to-face time.
Social media and phone calls are a great way to stay in touch with friends and family, but in-person connections are crucial to maintaining positive mental health. You both need someone who is a good listener as well as to be a good listener in return. Someone you know and trust can listen to the feelings behind your words and won't interrupt, judge, or criticize you. One reason face-to-face interactions are so important is that we all communicate through body language. So some of your messages might be lost during a phone conversation or text, which I know that happens a lot.
All the time. Text message. What are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing?
Right. Nonverbal cues can really indicate different thoughts and feelings, which help immensely to prevent others from misinterpreting what you're speaking about.
So let's look at some tips for connecting with others, in case you need some. right? So some days it can be a struggle to find the time to connect with others in person.
Yeah.
You know, I know for me, right? 5 kids, office, you know, there's some stuff there. If you and your loved ones and friends lead busy lives, offer run errands or exercise together. I think that's a great way to spend time together. You know, hey, come be with me. I got to go to the store. These are a couple of great ways to keep face-to-face interactions going in your life. We never want to cut off too long from interacting to keep our connections with others really strong. You know, in this world, we know that it's a race against time, right? And it's important the important people in our life can't always stop what they're doing, right, to make time for us. So here's a couple of great ideas to expand your community, right, and build yourself up and others in the process. So when you don't have anyone to call, right, try getting to know a new acquaintance. So making new friends can be tough for everyone. Maybe you can be the one to break the ice, you know, invite a coworker out for lunch or ask a neighbor to join you for coffee. Join a networking, social, or special interest group. It's a great opportunity to meet new people with common interests. I love networking and getting to know new people. You know, and don't be afraid to smile. Oh my gosh, please smile and say hello to strangers, right, as you cross paths. It's one of the best things. Smiles are contagious and they're free. You know, for sure.
I think I just realized that we have not had the PowerPoint up this whole time.
Oh no.
So I'm going to take just a second and see what happened here. So I never shared the screen.
Oh.
But I think that's okay. We can just,
well, you know, we can start sharing it now if you want to.
I'm not sure if I can since I already
started. Oh, because we already started? Okay. Well, if anybody wants to see the PowerPoint slides themselves, then we'll send them out.
Yeah. Okay. So is this the next one?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next we're going to be talking about the importance of friendships. So we tend to place too much importance on romantic relationships.
Yeah.
The truth is that friends are more important to happiness and well-being than anything physical. Research actually shows that meaningful friendships are powerful factors when it comes to our psychological welfare.
Warfare.
So a recent Swedish study even found that friends are tied to longevity. In the absence of meaningful social connections, our health suffers much in the same way as leading a sedentary lifestyle.
Yeah.
So there's countless different benefits of developing and maintaining friendships. A good friend can help you keep you lifted up and elevate your mood. Friends can be a source of encouragement to help you reach your goals. And additionally, having a social life, an active social life, can bolster your immune system and can help reduce isolation, which is a major contributing factor of depression.
For sure.
So friendship is a two-way street.
Don't forget.
The more you give, the more you contribute to your own sense of self-worth.
Yeah.
Helping others can make you feel needed, and it adds purpose to your life.
Right, like what we were talking about earlier. What's your purpose? Yeah. Be of service to others. All right, so, you know, traits to look for in relationships. So it's important to understand how relationships feel, right? No matter how much you have in common with someone, if being around them doesn't make you feel happy, you probably won't get much out of that relationship. Friendships work both ways. You know, in addition to feeling supported by someone, you must also feel comfortable in supporting them. Friendships require acceptance, loyalty, and trust. When making new friends, look for someone who shows a genuine interest in your life, right? The things that you say and how you think and feel, right, is accepting of who you are, listens attentively without judgment, and feels comfortable sharing things about themselves with you. And after spending time with someone or with a group of people, ask yourself the following questions. 1, do I feel better after having spent time with this person? 2, am I myself around this person? 3, do I feel secure, or do I feel like I have to watch what I say and do? 4, is this person supportive and feeling and treating me with respect? And 5, is this a person I can trust? And you think you could take those questions into any relationship, whether it's romantic or just friendship.
Definitely. So now we're going to talk a little bit about social support and our mental health put together. So social support systems include anyone that we trust and can go to for help, advice, or any other type of emotional support. Having a strong social support system is vital to maintaining and building positive mental health, like we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So our social support helps to increase mental health by alleviating stress, increasing self-confidence, and decreasing feelings of loneliness. Having support can help us get through tough situations and even provide ideas or recommendations for how to overcome life's challenges. And feeling loved and valued increases our self-confidence and self-esteem, which also contributes to that good mental health.
Right?
So social support systems can also be fun.
Woo-woo.
So participating in an activity or just having a chat about what's going on in life decreases the risk of feeling isolated or bored, which are traits associated with mental health conditions such as depression.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's now talk about developing a strong social support system. So many friendships grow out of shared activities and interests. So think about things you enjoy doing. Trying a new activity can provide for some, time to bond with a new friend. Now, fear is really common when trying something new, right? So if you're going to do something new for the first time, chances are others will either be feeling the same way or felt that same way at some point, right? We typically, when we try something new, we don't get it right the first time.
Right.
Which is why we don't try new things, right? Because we're scared to not look good.
Scared to be embarrassed,
right?
which is silly.
So we all fear rejection, but really rejection doesn't have to hurt. With an understanding that we only have control of our own feelings and actions, we can choose not to dwell on the negative feelings associated with failing at something new. Now, there are many ways to strengthen your bond with current friends and develop those with new ones. And here are some ideas, and some of these might not be possible yet with all the shutdowns, but a lot of the activities are starting to open back up. So you can join a local walking group or a scrapbook meetup. You can volunteer to clean up local parks or walk dogs from a shelter. If you're more of an adventure seeker, look for a local zip line trail. Wait. If you're more creative, try painting with a twist. That's one of those Picasso evenings, right? Wine and painting. Bring a group of new acquaintances together by playing an escape room event, right? That would be fun. Yeah. Maybe there's a wine tasting or a brewery tour that you've wanted to try and go check out. Whatever it is, be sure to engage with others and see if you make any connections.
So now some words of wisdom. So these are just some quotes.
I love these.
So the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. And that's from Carl Jung. And I think this is a really cool quote because it eloquently states the positive reaction that we can experience when we connect with somebody. Next one is, they may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And that's Carl W. Buchner. And I think we can all relate to this one because how many conversations have you had where you leave not remembering the exact things that you talked about, but you have this strong positive or negative, memory of that conversation.
Yeah.
Next is, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. And that's by Dale Carnegie.
Yeah.
And this is really awesome advice, I think, for making new friends and sustaining current relationships. We all have a story to share, but you must be willing to hear someone else's story in order to have yours heard.
Right, yeah.
And finally, nobody can hurt me without my permission.
So true. Sticks and stones.
And that's Mahatma Gandhi. And this is just a really good illustration of fearing rejection. because you are the only one that has the control over how you feel, and you don't have to give that away.
No, you don't. So which of those quotes were your favorites? Put it down in the comments, or if you've got ones that you really like, add that in comments too. So, so we're going to talk a little bit about how to be a better friend yourself, right? Because we talked about, seek first to understand, then be understood. You get to know people first, right? So close relationships really take time to develop, and even more time to deepen. In order to nurture those connections, you need to know how to be a good friend. Try to be the kind of friend you would like to have, right? Be reliable, thoughtful, trustworthy, willing to share yourself and your time. We all need space. Avoid being clingy or needy. Don't set rules or expectations. Allow relationships to evolve naturally. Remember, no one is perfect. Forgiveness can go a long way when cultivating new relationships, as well as maintaining longer ones. Keep in mind that working through a conflict can actually help deepen the bonds too.
Yeah, for sure.
And a very important one is be a good communicator. Listen and support others just as you want them to listen and support you.
So a little bit more here on how to be a better communicator. So having the ability to communicate is really the key to healthy relationships. Too often, talking is mistaken for communicating.
Talk.
Talking is definitely important when it comes to communication, but listening and nonverbal cues like body language also play a really big role in communication. So here are some tips on being a better communicator. Be a good listener.
What does that mean?
Easy as that.
How do you be a good listener?
Well, just block out everything else that's going on in your
Right?
head and focus on what's in front of you.
It really does mean that. It means giving up whatever you think you're going to say back or whatever you think or believe. It just means really being present.
Yep. So know when to give input or feedback. Mediate when you're in a group setting and friends are misunderstanding each other. I think that one's really important.
It is, yeah.
Keep your responses simple and succinct. Don't be the person who needs to comment on every single thing.
Well, why not? Really?
Well, it gets a little annoying, I have to say.
Are you sure?
Be positive and nod along as others are speaking, and validate what you're being told before you share your perspective.
And these last two I really like, right? Be positive, nod along, but don't just nod along to be nodding along, right? So that way you're really being listening. You're listening and you're nodding, right? You're agreeing. Yeah, I hear you. I got you. And I think the validate part, people don't often know like how to validate someone.
It's not something that we learn.
No, it's really not. And validation doesn't mean that you're agreeing with what people are saying. It really
I hear you.
Recreate them, right? I really hear how sad and frustrated you are by being, isolated in your house. I get how much pain that you're in. You can't lift your grandchild, and that just breaks your heart because you love them so much. Validating is first hearing the words that they're saying and giving it back to them, but then listening to what's behind what they're saying, getting that emotion or that feeling with it, and then also inserting that into the conversation, because then that person that is speaking to you is really being heard. They're going to get gotten, and they're going to be really in relationship with you even better that way.
I don't know who all was here at the beginning, but just in case, so you guys know, the computer that's filming us is at 2% right now on battery, so it might die. Hopefully the video will still save onto the page.
Yes.
I really hope it does. If it does die, we may just kind of leave it there.
We're probably just going to leave it there, and if you want to know more, we'll know more. Probably what we'll do is add things in the comments.
We'll write some things.
We'll write some things in the comments. So
So just to warn you, just to let you know.
We're trying to go fast and not have too many shortcuts. So effective listening, what I was just talking about. right?
Yes. Yep, exactly.
Perhaps is the biggest key to communication, right? How many times have you spoken with someone and were forming your response in your head or planning dinner while they were in the midst of their story, right? If it happens to all of us, unfortunately, this doesn't make for good communication, right? Start by offering people your undivided attention. Eye contact is essential for effective communication.
Yeah.
Be attentive by being present to the conversation. You know, one of the things also that I like to do is if I start to wander, right, I will stop the person who's speaking and apologize. Like, oh my gosh, I just totally did not at all get what you said. Can you please repeat that? And hope that that other person isn't offended that I drifted off, but is acknowledge that I screwed up and I want to be with you, right? Listen without judgment or criticism. Don't jump to conclusions or insert yourself into the speaker's thoughts or their feelings. Let the speaker finish their thoughts without interruption. And that is so hard for me sometimes, right? I know, because I think I already know what they're going to say, so I'm just going to say something too. So, and as you're listening, try to picture what the speaker is saying. This will really help keep you focused and not allow you to your thoughts to drift off. Avoid offering solutions, right? Sometimes women, we just want to talk, right? We don't want you guys to fix our stuff. Sometimes you're just there to listen while others vent, right? Interrupting to give your input can send a negative impression, even if you're just trying to help, right? Wait for the speaker to pause, to ask any clarifying questions, and ask those questions only to ensure understanding.
So next we'll talk about some nonverbal communication and body language, which I think this will answer your question, Matt. He said, not sure if I missed it, but what are some good nonverbal cues that could be used? Right, yeah. So during every interaction that we have with each other, with others, we are constantly giving and receiving these nonverbal signals. The way we sit, how fast or how loud we talk, how close we stand to each other, and how much eye contact we make are all nonverbal cues that we use to communicate how we are feeling and whether or not we are listening.
What?
So there's actually many times when what comes out of your mouth and what you communicate through your body language are two completely different things. Most people respond more based off of the nonverbal cues rather than just the spoken language, because it's a natural, unconscious language that broadcasts your true feelings and intentions. Yeah. So the way you listen, look, move, and react tells others whether or not you care, if you're truthful, and how well you're listening. So to become a better communicator, it's really essential to become more in tune with the body language and the nonverbal cues of others as well as your own.
Yeah, for sure. And then that's really critical too, is knowing your own nonverbal, body language. Are you slouching? Are you leaning forward? Do you have eye contact? Are you drifting off or rolling your eyes, right? So, reading, does that say nonverbal communication?
Yes.
So, all right. So there are many different types of nonverbal communication, like I just mentioned. Facial expressions can be very telling. You know, like, oh my gosh, my face will say it all. We can express countless emotions without saying a single word. Facial expressions are universal, right? Expressions for happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, fear, and disgust are the same across all cultures, right? Body movements and postures communicate a wealth of information to the world, from the way we sit to the way we carry ourselves. You know, nonverbal communication, right, includes your posture, your stance, even subtle movements, even your gait, right? You know, if you watch people slow off across the floor, dragging their heels, or if they're walking with purpose.
It gives a message.
Yeah,
sure.
It really does. You know, hand gestures, right? Dr. Sarah and I both talk with our hands a lot. Often are unconscious expressions and can differ across cultures. We can tell a lot about someone